Act 5, Scene 2, Scotland in open country. And we're going to see here the main things of Scotland. And they are gathering in open country now. They're not afraid anymore to be seen together. They have really worked together and bolstered each other to revolt. And they're going to try and meet up with Macduff and Malcolm. So they are determined to put an end to this reign of terror. Macbeth does still have some followers, but as we find out from this particular scene, the followers only follow out of a sense of fear. There's no loyalty left for Macbeth in Scotland at all. So this is a massive departure from Act 1, Scene 2, when we hear of the amazing respect that people have for Macbeth. It's all gone now. So enter Menteith, Caithness, Angus, Lennox and soldiers. Menteith. The English power is near, led on by Malcolm, his uncle Sayward and good Macduff. Revenges burn in them for their dear causes, would be to bleeding, and the grim alarm excite the mortified man. So the English power is near. So the 10,000 men that Edward has sent up with Macduff and Malcolm, and of course revenge burns in their heart for different reasons. Macduff, of course, needs to avenge the death of his family, and Malcolm the death of his father. And they are so intent on revenge that they would excite a mortified man, meaning they would raise the dead. Angus, near Burnham Wood shall we meet them. That way they are coming. So they're going to Burnham Wood. Now just cast your mind back to one of the apparitions that said that Macbeth would not be vanquished until Burnham Wood walked upon him. So they're meeting now in Burnham Wood. There's no suggestion that Burnham Wood can walk, but they are meeting in Burnham Wood. And Caithness. Who knows if Donalbain be with his brother? Lennox says, for certain, sir, he is not. I have a file of all the gentry. There is Sayward's son, and many unrough youths that even now protest their first of manhood. So Lennox says, no, Donalbain's not with them. He's still in Ireland for safety, but there are many young men willing to fight in Sayward's army. Menteith. And what does the tyrant? So again, not really referencing the man's name. They call him the tyrant. Caithness. Great Dunsinane he strongly fortifies. Some say he's mad, others, that lesser hate him, do call it valiant fury. But for certain he cannot buckle his distempered cause with the belt of rule, meaning he's not respected really anymore, and it's all done through force and not, they don't willingly fight with him or for him. They anyone that works for him does it sort of out of an obligation and not out of any kind of respect. Angus. And now does he feel his secret murders sticking on his hands. That's a nice quotation there. His secret murders are sticking to him now. Now minutely revolts upbraid his faith breach. Those, underline this quotation here, those he commands move only in command. So they only move in command, not out of any other, not for any other reason. Nothing in love. Now does he feel his title hang loose upon him. Nice simile here, like a giant's robe upon a dwarfish thief. So his title, his kingship, because it was stolen, it's like a giant's robe, but it fits on a dwarfish thief. So we have had reference to clothing throughout the text, and that's another very important one there. So he does not fit the robe that he has taken. And Menteith. Who shall blame? Who then shall blame his pestered sense to recoil and start, when all that is within him does condemn itself for being there? And Caithness. Well, march on. To give obedience where 'tis truly owed. So we're going to go and give obedience where it's really owed, i.e. to Malcolm, who they see as the rightful king, the king who should have been the successor, as nominated by his father. Meet the medicine of the sickly wheel. So that's important as well. So a wheel is kind of like a sore. So the use of personification there. Scotland is, it's sore, it's bleeding, it has these open sores. So we're going to give it the medicine it needs. And with him, pour we on our poor country's purge, each drop of us. So we're going to purge and we're going to make the country better. And Lennox says, or so much as it needs to dew the sovereign flower and drown the weeds. And again, that reference to plant life coming through. So the sovereign flower is Malcolm, and he's going to drown out the weeds, which is, of course, this reign of terror that has taken over beautiful Scotland. Make we our march towards Burnham. So a small scene, but it's sort of like, I guess it's recapping for the audience, or bringing the audience up to speed on the state of Scotland. The psychological state of Scotland is everybody in charge has now pretty much disowned Macbeth, and they want to get together with the army that's coming up from England, to be with Macduff, to be with Macbeth, and to, eradicate this plague that has happened to Scotland. So and very, very importantly, they're just showing that Macbeth's loyalty, he doesn't have any loyalty anymore. It's totally changed, and anyone who serves him serves out of a sense of fear and not much else.